this line popping off, and I can see now that the pressure is set too high on it. So the way that we're going to do that, you can see that it kicks in at about 95 psi and ends at over 100, which is about twice as high as this pump should be running. So I didn't realize it was running that high. Or actually, what is it, kicking in about 90? And it was blowing this tube off because there was just too much pressure in there. So you can see when it comes down to 90, I've got the water trickling on the inside. That's what's relieving the pressure. So there's water trickling on the inside. And when does this pump kick in? Let's see here. Just below 90. Yeah, pretty tough to have water busting in the middle of winter out here. So we didn't have any water running for a while today, and then I hooked it back up again and it blew off. So I'm like, why did it do that? So then I started exploring and I noticed that the pressure was set a little too high. So it kicked in at 85. It runs, pressurizing now, and it shuts off at, what's that, about 110. Actually, it hit the little lever, so it's shutting off at 110 psi. And over here, on this little device, this is where we open it up, and we go ahead and change what it says for the psi on that. Should probably be about 50. I do like it a little higher because this pump is running 2 buildings, so I'll set it to 60, but it certainly doesn't need to be this high. So I'm going to take that bolt off there. First I'm going to unplug it because there's a lot of electricity that runs through that. So I'm going to switch the breaker, shut it off, and then go ahead and change the pressure settings. So once I shut the breaker off, I'll be right back. Okay, the breaker's off. I'm going to go ahead and take this little bolt off the top here. Okay. And then what we've got are 2 springs. This small spring is the top level pressure. This bottom spring is the one that says when to turn it back on. So when it goes to a low pressure setting, this will indicate when it should turn back on. Normally that's 30, and this one should be about 50 is when to shut it off. So it's shutting it off at over 100 psi. These springs are set way too tight. So I'm probably going to loosen up both of these. I believe one turn is about 3 psi. So I'm going to turn these probably 10 rotations, bring it down 30. Each one of these down about 30 psi. That's set at 80. So I'll bring that one down to 50 to turn on. And then I'll bring this one from 105, 110 down to about 80 for the top. So it'll be pretty high pressure in the lines here, but it won't be the insane pressure that we had before. So what I've got is just a standard wrench socket here, and I'm just going to twist these and turn them around 10 times, and we'll see how that works. Okay, so I ended up having to use an open-end adjustable wrench to turn these. You can see that they're higher. And, you know, as I was doing that, I'm thinking maybe it's the cold weather that caused the tension in these springs, change the metal to put a little bit more pressure on it, causing the pressure for the tank to go up. So anyway, I adjusted those down now, and we'll go ahead and flip the power back on and see how that goes. behind the cabin is where the breaker is for the pump. And this is says water pump there. Let's turn that back on. Go ahead and lock that. Let's go see. Head back to the well. Oh, I heard it just shut off. Okay. And it shut off there. Still at about 100. Let's see where it kicks in now. It's as it goes down in pressure. See if I can't speed that along a little bit. I'm gonna turn this on to hurry it up. Okay. Run a little bit of water in there. And there, it's moving down faster. Okay, so now we're down to 80. And it's not kicking on yet. So we're below 80. Oh, kicked on at 80 now. And then it brings it up to about 99. So I'm gonna have to adjust that down a little bit further yet, and then see how that goes. I went ahead and adjusted those screws again. You can see they're much higher now. And we're about 80, and it hasn't kicked in yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and relieve a little bit of pressure in here. Okay. There we're 80. 75. $70. Okay. Kicked in around 70. Well, 65. Let's see how high it goes. Now, yeah, about 80, 86, 87. That's about where we want that. Now it won't blow the hose off, which it was doing. So it's about 20 pounds less pressure. That's all the more, I mean, it's already set a little higher than it needs to be. So we'll have plenty of pressure, and we're not going to blow our hoses. Enjoy. And Mr. Unspeakable, I hope you like my video. Turn this off. And there we are.